Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome. This is just a quick little tutorial video just to review your lifelong learning presentation, which when you are finished with your lifelong learning presentation, it will be the last page of your WIC portfolio where you reflect back. So let's talk about it. So I'm just going to share my screen for a moment. And here we go. All right, let me start from the beginning. So my big suggestions. First of all, read the syllabus. All this information is in the syllabus. So once again, if you have questions, the video's too fast for you, go back and please read the syllabus. The other thing is look at the examples we actually have in our course shell. I always think sometimes when you look at examples, they can kind of inspire you and you'll know if you're on the right track. And thirdly, you can always reach out to me. I always tell people I'm only a telephone call away. And I work all these weird hours, so you could text me at 3 o'clock in the morning. I am okay with that. All righty, so let's move on. So make your lifelong learning project with Adobe. So once again, Adobe, which they've updated their platform and they're referred to as Adobe Express. It's a free program. All you need to do is sign up for it. And once again, the directions are here and they're also in our syllabus. Remember, there are systems requirements, and we know that with all kind of learning platforms. So the big one here is not to use Internet Explorer, which, to be honest, I don't know if anybody still to this day uses Internet Explorer. Okay, so once again, we have some YouTube videos to help you, and we have the logon information for Adobe Express. The rationale for the assignment. So once again, this project is designed to give you a creative way to reflect on what you've learned about yourself as a learner throughout your experiences in the BSN program. Secondly, the project will ask you to discuss how you've gained experience in the 5 main skills. And we remember these as the broad learning outcomes: think, communicate, cooperate, act, and value. And how do you continue to use those skills in your nursing practice? And lifelong learning too. All right, so once again, the goal is for you to come away from the capstone course with a clear idea of how your BSN experience and education has shaped you as a learner. So once again, the project will be presented in narrated form. I let students, if you have another platform that you like to use, by all means. I always give the suggestion of what I use in my practice. So many times I use Adobe Presentation. And for this particular assignment, try to keep your presentation less than 7 minutes. And please don't stress about it. If you're 8 minutes or 6 minutes, that's okay too. Because once again, right, and we've learned this in our writing course, writing is always about being clear and concise. Okay, so once again, the project is your personal framework for lifelong learning. And remember to discuss those 5 learning outcomes. So once again, what you've learned about yourself, what have you learned about yourself through your experience as the BSN program overall? A lot of times students tell me that they've actually become better writers. And I think, one example, besides, writing and the flow of your papers is also basic APA, which is such an important skill because you need it for graduate school. And you know that the exception is when you go to a graduate school, they're not necessarily going to teach you how to do APA. The onus is on you. So I think that a lot of times is a great skill. So the 5 main skills, once again, think, communicate, collaborate, value, and act. So let's talk about those for a minute. So think, how have you responded to questions? How have you used critical thinking, not only in your own life, but in your nursing practice? And try to give examples. I always think examples really kind of like exemplify what you're trying to accomplish. And they illustrate such important concepts. Communicate. Right? How have you expressed yourself clearly and persuasively? One of the things many students tell me is that they feel like, when they write emails in their practice, that they feel like they've gotten much better at that type of communication. Collaborate. Functions effectively as a member of the team. in fostering a positive team climate. Can you give an example of that in your practice? I know a lot of students will tell me that they've joined different committees, hospital-wide committees. ACT. How do you apply learning to the real world? I think in this course, we talked about emotional intelligence, right? And I think like, how has, the skills or, being more self-aware of yourself has helped you? ACT. Value, using ethical principles to articulate what is good from your BSN experience and how will you utilize them in your nursing practice. And I think, you learned this really kind of, early on in your nursing career. And then we kind of talk about it when you did your nursing perspectives course, that professional identity. So nursing practice, how has your nursing practice been affected? How has your nursing philosophy or approach changed? And maybe your nursing philosophy hasn't changed. I feel like even with myself, there's basic components that I feel like I had from the very early on that I still cherish today, and I think one of them was, advocating for patients and being empathetic. It's something, once again, that I felt like I had early on, and to this day, I'm very empathetic. And we know that NCLEX is now testing for the empathetic response. Growth, how have you changed or grown through the knowledge gained in your BSN experience? And can you give at least 3 examples of changes? Once again, these changes could involve learning of new skills, new frameworks, models, new concepts, etc. And I just spoke to emotional intelligence, and I think that might be one that, some people could apply. Vision statement, your personal lifelong learning principles and values could be your vision statement. One of the things I've always lived by, and I used to talk about this in the associate program, and to this day, I still talk about it. And it's that, when the train comes by, are you going to get on the train or are you going to miss your ride? And basically what I'm saying here is, take advantage of opportunities. If somebody invites you to work on a research paper or to do a committee at your hospital, say yes, right? Because, it's opportunities, and sometimes opportunities lead into other opportunities. So once again, I always like to share people's work. So I will have you upload your final presentation to the course shell, just because, once again, I think it's important and it's being respectful and professional to our colleagues. Alrighty, so I hope you enjoyed this quick video. Once again, I'm only a telephone call away. Enjoy your day.